Welcome back to Crypto Rosetta. My name's Joe. It's great to be back on the show. Now, I've got to talk about where the markets are at, and basically let's just, recap how kind of January played out. We're moved, significantly into February now. The markets, we've seen this, strong rally continue. Is it finally coming to an end? I'm going to give you my thoughts. Now, if you're brand new on the channel for the first time, then why not go ahead and subscribe right now, tap that bell, select all notifications, and you'll never miss a show. And just take a minute to smash up that like if you appreciate this content. It really helps us out, so really do thank you for that. If you've been watching us, you've been seeing previous videos, Savage has been absolutely crushing all the TA on the altcoins. You'll know all about that. Now, I've been gone away for a few days, haven't been recording as much, been busy with a few other projects setting things up, especially also things coming forward for our Discord. Links in the description below if you're interested in that. Now, markets. I got January wrong, folks. Previous 6 months, I'd been fairly profitable trading and, I'd done okay for myself. However, had to take a hit on January. Still am rather macro bearish. And, I was expecting, that rally that we got up to 18k. Did think, potentially pull back from there. And I did think that, potentially Bitcoin might have not seen 20k. I got that one wrong. It is what it is. We move on, okay? Now, how far did I think that rally could go? Well, next key areas for me was always going to be somewhere in that 22 to 26k region. And obviously we've reached that, okay? Now, where we're currently topping out, we're topping out in that low 24,000 at the moment. It's still, a big if for me, if we can actually go further higher, but we seem to be at a major resistance. Now, what kind of caused me to take a bit of a hit on the trading in January was essentially one sentence that came out of Jerome Powell's mouth as he spoke on after the FOMC last week. It was all going well, and then he made that one comment about them having inflation under control, and the Nasdaq, if anyone was watching the charts at that moment as that speech was going on, absolutely ripped with the S&P 500, which I did have some shorts on, which were in the green for a significant period. Did lock in some gains, however, unfortunately, with the way of the cross margin working, managed to stop me out of positions. I had positions on the Dow Jones short. I was also short on gold, which was really unfortunate because gold absolutely tanked a couple of days after, and gold is we've seen it go down significantly. I'm going to come on to that in a minute, how all this is going to be affecting crypto in my opinion. Now, that's been and gone now. We've got to look forward. What's going to be happening, for the rest of February? Because I said January is a key month, but February is also a key month, a super key month for crypto as well. This month for me, and March, this February-March period for me is going to basically decide, is the bottom in, or are we going to see a lower low, or lower lows on the majority of cryptos across the board, and especially the majors, and including Bitcoin in that. Now, reason I say that is because if this high is in, hypothetically, as in this local high of a 24,200 area, we've seen a bit of a drop weekend so far. The bulls will be saying, okay, fair enough, we can still go higher here. This is just a correction, from an Elliott wave perspective. Could this be just, wave 4? Are we going to get a higher fifth wave? That is absolutely possible. However, a lot of bears out there that are saying 22,500 breaks, which it hasn't at the moment. Time of recording, I've got Bitcoin just hovering below 22,900. So 22,500 hasn't gone yet, but we will have bears saying that if 22,500 is to go here, then potentially that's bearish confirmation of that slow breakdown to lower lows, depending on news, of course, because some news could come out causing a stronger, quicker capitulation. For me, I'm not kind of sitting on that 22,500 being bearish confirmation, because of absolutely, we can still remain bullish and have, a decent deep correction. So I'm not jumping too much on that. What I will say is, though, that, certainly below 20k, and certainly if we got below 19k, then things are going to get really interesting, and then, we're going to start to see that fear back in the market. Now, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're seeing, up in that greedy section. And, it's been a long time, since we've sat up there for, a significant period of time. You have to go many, many months back. Certainly later half, middle of 2022, we didn't see, we just weren't there, were we, guys? As you know, we were, sat in fear or extreme fear for a long time, or, grazing the neutral, but not really in this greed period where we are now. So that is the market, potentially saying that, even to maintain bullish, you'd expect a pullback, and that's, absolutely natural. What I think is, really interesting as well is, we've seen how some of these, complete rips have been going on with certain altcoins. And again, we've seen a lot in 2020, 21, 22, pump and dump season, and it's still pump and dump season as we've started 2023, folks. What do I mean by that is I'm not saying all these coins that have absolutely ripped are just going to completely dump now. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's the potential for pump and dump. We're still seeing all over YouTube. We're still seeing the way that these micro caps can be promoted and absolutely rocket, and even not certain micro caps, even some of the bigger coins. Like, so when talking about the micro caps, you're looking at things like HIX, Jasmy's been on a rip today. It just seems to be certain sentiment, certain promotion, certain YouTube channels, etc. Big accounts picking up on these small coins can certainly send them off, and you can make some absolute major gains. And if anyone watching who has managed to capitalize on that, well done. But likewise, you've got bigger coins like your Phantom has been on a decent run, again being picked up by big channels. Getting a lot of hype recently, and we're seeing other big coins like Cardano, Polkadot, etc. XRP. News has gone quiet. We're seeing that hype on XRP, back, I think it was back in about October, when there was, more rumours, the case is going to end. And then all of a sudden, as I remember telling people then, watch what happens when nothing happens, and then things go quiet again. You won't get those big rips, and that price action goes, pretty boring. And when we start to see a pullback on Bitcoin, these coins probably dump a bit harder than the ones that have just completely ripped. Are going to probably stay up there for a little bit longer, in my opinion. Now, what's also really key to where the markets are going is been watching any of my previous videos talking about this DXY. Okay, this could be an absolute classic bear trap, potentially not confirmed yet. We've got to go a bit higher, but potentially classic bear trap here on the DXY as it went down to 101. I did say first of all 103 being a key level, and then I also been telling you about 101 was also a key level that I want to see hold. Well, we went down to 101, and then we've just as it looked like it was going to drop further through, and then the market was going super bullish, the Nasdaq was going crazy. It was like risk on was coming back. We seen this like strong reversal on Friday, big rip back up to 103 at close. I think it closed at 102.99, but it did hit 103 as markets that ripped sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday did see a cool off on Friday, as you'd expect. What was a little bit more surprising was that the cool off on Bitcoin from hitting the top, as actually bled a bit into Sunday. We've seen a bit of an altcoin dumpage on Sunday, just gone here. As we're entering Monday now. So Monday, yeah, it's going to be interesting as markets open. I'm just recording this here late night and just looking at the futures charts now. Stock futures have opened. They've opened pretty flat. Nothing too significant there, nothing surprising. I'm looking at gold futures as well, expecting a little bit of a bounce there because it was a strong correction, strong rejection off 1940. Really key as well, because gold's interesting because seeing how it's running inverse to the DXY. So again, a lot of people really bullish on gold, but if this DXY gets bullish again, then it may have just been a major correction on gold, and no confirmation at the bottoms in there. I say we have to get through $2,000 first, so we're a bit of ways off that now, as we've seen that heavy rejection at 1940. Reason I'm bringing these things up, because again, if you're trading with us in our traded tier, links in the description below. We're also not just trading cryptos, trading their stocks and commodities on Prime XBT. If anyone's interested, great platform to trade on. You can trade all these assets and commodities, and use our affiliate if you want. Links in the description below. So getting back to crypto again. where do I think this could go now? I don't think all of these coins, personally, are going to just like totally dump now if Bitcoin pulls back. That's just my kind of opinion. Watch out for these certain coins that you're going to be hitting these key levels, to kind of maintain bullish. I think Bitcoin dominance is, interesting one as well. Been on a decent kind of rip, but I expect that to cool off a bit. But what I will say is that if the market really, really, really does dump, okay, and Bitcoin goes to lower lows, that this probably would happen if it is going to happen, in sort of March, April, I would not write off, seeing potentially up to 50% potentially on Bitcoin dominance. If that happens, it's going to be really, really brutal for the altcoins. And, towards the back end of, last year, when probably a bit more bearish than I am currently now, I'm just kind of aware that, different things may be being done by the Fed, potentially the way I was expecting them to be a bit more hawkish than they actually turned out to be, didn't turn out that way, which I do think is bad in the long run. But what that may extend, that may extend max pain. We may just get, a stronger wave up on equities that don't reach new all-time highs, and then potentially go even lower down than I was initially expecting. That's kind of the scary thing here, because I was expecting maybe S&P 500 to kind of bottom out in that sort of 32 to 3300 region. However, with the way the markets are going, it's potential that if it carries on a rip, folks, and doesn't hit new all-time highs, it's definitely going to be one of them situations. Well, okay, wrong word. Shouldn't say definitely. No guarantees in markets, and none of this is ever financial advice, as always. But what it would look like to me, that is, if we don't get new all-time highs on equities and we continue this rip, then it's like one of those cases where they say the higher it goes, the lower it goes. So that would really not be a good look for 2024. Obviously, I was kind of bearish on 2023, but we'll have to kind of see how this all plays out. Still, my primary expectation, though, is a pullback from here on markets across the board, but I'm not ruling off going, breaking through these resistances. And it would be, you're talking Bitcoin busting comfortably up to 30k and holding a close up there. You know what I mean? You've got to hold it. You can't just get up there and flash back down. So really key how that's going to play out in the next 2 months, but primary expectation is, for now, if we break down from resistance, I still think there's a very, very strong possibility that we're heading for lower lows. What I will say is, though, is if you're watching this and you are more bullish and you think you've seen enough now and you think there's no way it's going back down to 15.5k, but you didn't buy in, and you're frustrated and you're kind of a little bit angry or whatever, you buy in, it's okay, folks, because just expect a correction here. Even if we get up to 25k, still expect a correction to come back down to 22, 21, a little bit lower than we are time of recording here. I think there's a very good chance, again, no guarantees, but I think there's a very good chance of it. And you can just dollar cost average your way in, because if you want to buy the dip here, it's a lot better than buying the dip when Bitcoin was up at 40, 45k, etc. So you're going to get much more coins for your money. So if you're interested in hodling in the long run, and that's your plan, of getting rich, and you're really bullish on blockchain, bullish on crypto, bullish on adoption, think that there's another significant bull run coming, then absolutely, why not get into the market if you're kind of more fearful of having that patience and have that FOMO, you don't want to miss out, then I can totally understand getting into the market right now. Just as always, I'll always say never risk more than you can afford to lose, because anything can happen. We've seen it with the likes of Terra Luna last year, people who put all their money in that and didn't diversify in coins. So that's why I like to always mention about diversifying into many different coins. I think that's a really key part of risk management in crypto. And if you do have to go all in one and you can't focus on all of them, then just stick with Bitcoin. But again, you're not probably going to see the returns on Bitcoin that you could potentially get that 50x 100x altcoin. So this is why I know a lot of people looking for these gems, putting small parts of their portfolio. A lot of people will be looking at micro caps like HIX, Singularity Net, and think, oh great, they've caught that one at a great time. That said, though, always, I always promote taking profits. If you're someone watching and you bought HIX at 3, 4, 5 cent, and you're up God knows how much right now, 5, 10x, whatever, 20x, whatever you've done on any of these, small cap altcoins that have absolutely ripped. Just lock in some gains, folks. I know you want to just hold those coins and truly see them all go to the moon, but you just lock in some at least take some profits off the table, because anything can really happen here in these markets. One of the biggest losses you see people have in crypto is not just going straight into red, but it's losing the gains that they had, and had the locked in gains, they wouldn't turn into negative equity further in the bear market, and if we get bear market continuation here, because that's one thing that could be playing out, folks. We could just be on a bear market pause. I say pause, and I'm not using the term rally as much now, because we've seen all these rallies last year, and that's what all this one still could be. But I know to a lot of people this one feels different because of the percentage gains that it's gone up. But what I will say about that is that you got to remember, the lower it goes, okay, the lower crypto goes, the lower Bitcoin goes in the bear market, what will be analysed as a bear market in the future, as you see the continuation of the downtrend, that when there is rallies, that the percentage wise they're going to be more. So we've had over a 60% rally on Bitcoin right now. If that's what it is, and it rolls over and goes to a lower low, then the next rally, if there was to be another one before another lower low, could be up as much as 100%, 125%. So as crazy as that thing, you think, how can something go up 100% and it just be a rally? But that's the maths, folks. You've just got to look at it from the charts perspective, that the lower it falls, the higher percentage-wise these rallies will be. So if you catch longs even on these rallies, even if we get bear market continuation, it's not a disaster. Even if you spot buy, and you don't have to be long and using leverage. Even if you just spot at the right time, it's just that this is why I say take gains, because you don't know if it's just a rally and it's going to roll over again. So at least you got in, and you got some profits locked in, and that's kind of what's really key here. So again, just to wrap up, we've got this week coming. We've got some more key earnings coming out on the stock market, but don't be surprised if things cool off a bit here, folks, just because of how stronger pump we've had in January. I think even the strongest minded bulls aren't probably expecting a complete repeat in February what there was in January. If we get a February exactly January, we know where Bitcoin's going to be. It's going to be way high 20s, 30k. We can say, okay, looks like the bottom's in. Okay, then we can, we'll have an open, we'll have a weekly open and close, above 25, 26k. Then, start to think, yeah, bottom's in, wait for a pullback, start dollar cost averaging in. That's what I will do. However, I'm waiting to still see now currently cash on the side, just waiting to see if we get this, further pullback, because I do think that there's a good opportunity that happens. Either way, I'm looking for longs and shorts in the market at all times, whether it be crypto, stocks, commodities, etc. I think still a good one to be trading at the minute is oil. I'm still pretty bearish on oil, waiting to see how much gold bounces to see if I think that tops in, and then I can see gold also going a bit lower. But yeah, looking at long US dollar, I do think that US dollar is going to bounce off this key level now, and that is going to be what's going to cause the pullback, in my opinion. I think that is going to be a little bit bearish for risk assets, because they've had a hell of a run December and mostly January. They've had a hell of a run in January as the DXY has dropped. But it looks like to me that there's a good chance that DXY correction's over. If the DXY drops further here, crushes through 101, then okay, bearish confirmation for the DXY, tops in on DXY, and that's going to be really, really bullish. So definitely watch out for that one, folks. But I'm sure we'll have Savage on the channel charting that one for us. And if you're interested getting more information on what's going on regularly, we get a lot more going on in the Discord, so come and join the Discord. As I mentioned, links in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave this one with you there, and I'll be putting more videos out through the week. So thanks so much for watching all the content. As ever, again, smash the like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you again.